Welcome, Admirals, to Ray Rivers Gaming and Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. In this video, we're going to be talking about ship management of guns, um, men, modules, how you configure your ship, how you balance out um, all these factors and how we actually do this. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken just a random harbor after a battle during the American campaign, and you can see my fleet here. Um, what you see is I've got a bunch of fourth rates. They're all fourth rates. Okay. So what we're gonna be taking a look at is we're going to be taking a look at the relationships between weight, upgrades, guns, and men. And so we're not only going to talk about the relationship, but we're going to talk about how to change guns, for example, how to balance out your ship, things like this to give it, put it in the best condition it can for fighting a battle at sea. So my fleet has finished a battle, and they took some damage, of course, which has all been repaired. And now what we see is here's the United States, fourth rate frigate. Her weight, okay, so the first thing we have to consider, right, in configuring our ship is the weight, and she's at 1,600 is her total capacity, and right now she's at 1,554. Now this ship I'm happy with, and normally what I'll do is, notice I've got the reserve button um, put there. That gives me veterans, so that does not change these numbers. Okay, if I put like that and I increase the crew, notice how the numbers drop. Notice how those numbers drop. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We'll just go reserves, right? Which are veterans. So these qualities will not drop as I increase, and so I just increase the amount of men up until the point where I've got my max weight, and you can see that I have 590 crew. Okay, that's pretty easy relationship. I'll upgrade that to understand, right? I personally prefer to have extra men on board. And the reason being is that in battle, people are going to get killed, and you're going to take damage. And so and you're going to board ships. And when you board ships, you're going to lose crew. So I'd prefer to have excess crew so that I can send these guys onto other ships. And sometimes you damage a ship really badly, but it's a really good ship and it's sinking on you and it's on fire or something. And you'll find that if you send not just one group of sailors, but if you send a second group of sailors, because the only thing that they will be doing is firefighting and repairing the ship, you can save that ship before it sinks. So having a good amount of crew, I think, is a good way to go. Now, so when you look at this fleet of mine, so I've got four of these United States frigates, okay, including the Constitution over here, okay. And you see the Constitution has 1,600 tons. She obviously didn't take any damage, or may not have been involved in the battle. I don't remember. She's got a max crew of 633 stars. I mean, this ship can whale. Okay, look at those numbers. All right. Okay. So I like these fourth rates. These are the best you're going to get with the Americans. Okay. So now let's take a look at some of these others. So let's take a look at some of these other ones. So let's take a look at this guy, Congress. Okay. So it's a fourth rate ship of the line. Okay. 18 1,800 weight, as opposed to this ship, which is 1,600. Okay. Let's go back to this one. Note the speed of this ship, I don't know if you can see it well, is 11 knots. And personally, I like my ships to be fast, because I want them to maneuver before the battle, to be able to take advantage of the wind, get in front of my enemy, and then stay in that strategic area where I'm controlling the fight, because the wind's in my favor and it's against the enemy's favor. Okay, upwind. Okay, I also have longer range firing and so forth and so forth. So I want fast ships. But this ship here, okay, it's 11.3. Notice how it says 11.3? Here you may not be able to see that, okay? But notice that the weight is quite low. Now, the weight is quite low because I haven't put a full crew in there, as many crew as I want. Okay, so if I raise that weight to 1,800 by adding crew, her speed goes down to 10.4. Okay, so now she's slower than my American frigates by 0.6 knots. Okay, but it's close enough. Okay, the problem I had with these guys is that I want them all to basically be at the same speed, being able to go at the same speed. And this is why I added this module here, Advanced Cutting Sails. And notice in this box, read this box here, it says ship speed plus 15%. So, all right, so now if I take off this module, okay, the speed drops down to 9.5. So her original speed is 9.5. All right, and 9.5 and 11 is just too much of a difference. So that's why I have that module in there. Okay. So this gives me good speed. But let's say, okay. And another thing I'd like you to notice is that when you look at my ships, okay, this has 3 decks. Okay, this is the lower deck. This is where the heaviest guns are, up to the top deck. Okay, where you have your lighter guns, and notice that I have carronades there. All of my ships, in fact, have carronades on the upper portion of the upper deck of the ships. Now, carronades, if you look at here, you see that it says it's a new cannon type designed for close-in battle, devastating to the enemy at short range, useless at longer ranges. Okay, so it has very poor armor penetration, and the way you see me typically fight my battles is that I will keep at range for a while. Each ship has armor, okay? And what I'll do is I'll work to knock down their armor. And once I see a ship has had its armor knocked down quite a bit, okay, then I will try to get in very close, whether that's to board her or simply destroy her. Especially if I'm trying to board her, what I want to do is I want to kill her crew, and that's why I have the carronades. And so once you've beaten up your enemy, his armor is down, then you move in close to your enemy, and you go to grape shot or whatever like that, and this way the ship is just firing all these little tiny small balls of munitions, which are designed to kill people. All right. Now, if the ship has not been damaged, okay, these small balls will not penetrate the ship. So you need to damage the ship first. Once you've damaged the ship quite good, and you close in, then you start firing off the script shot, and essentially it goes right through the holes, and anybody standing in a hole is going to be killed. So, and then once I've killed off a whole bunch of crew, now I grapple her and I capture her. Okay, so that means that I'm always trying to make sure that all of my ships have carronades. And if you look, if we go through them, we see that all of my ships on their top deck have carronades of one form or another. Okay. All right, so let's return here to the Congress. All right, so what we've got on the Congress. Let's notice she has 18-pound Armstrong guns here. Let's say I want to change my guns. I want better guns or heavier guns or what have you. I want to change my guns. How do we do that? Okay. Well, you notice, this guy's got 24-pound Armstrongs. He's got 24-pound Armstrongs. This guy's got 18-pound Armstrongs. Okay. One of the reasons for that, of course, is that this guy's faster. This guy's slower. He's got 24 of them. He's got 30 of them, though, so, but he's got 3 decks. So how do I change these guns? All right, now, first thing to understand is that if you're not accustomed to the game, is what it does in the area here where your guns are, it tells you how many guns are on that deck. So you've got, here you see 20 guns on that deck, okay? And if you mouse over it, it gives you all the information, okay? So these are carronades, damage is 12, tells you reloading speed, 81 seconds, that's pretty fast, and very poor range, all right? In fact, you need to be like almost side to side to use these guns really effectively. And here I have 24 of these 9-pound Armstrong guns. They're, thanks to its high penetration at medium range. So you have to be at medium range for this gun to be doing penetrating their armor and destroying the actual ship. Okay, and then we have the 18-pounders here. At 12 damage, 172 seconds, 1,150 yards. You need to pay attention when you're looking at your guns. Again, look at this box and look at the graph. And when you see this graph, okay, it shows you the distance and the chance of, I believe that's the chance of penetration, okay, given the armor that you're going against. All right. So, how do we change guns? Okay. So, in the top deck here, you see we have 20 guns, and that means that if we want to change those guns, we have to have 20 other guns to change them with of any other type. It tells you right there how many guns are on that deck. Okay, there's 24 on that deck, and there's 24 on that deck, and there's 20 on that deck. Okay, and it also tells you the weight of the guns. Let's go over to naval weapons here. Okay, so here you see what I have in my armory. These are guns that I own, and then you have the shop, and you got 10 million guns here. Okay. But notice, they all have a quantity, okay? So there's only 50 of those. Well, there's 417 of those. Depends, Like I say, I'm fairly well into this campaign, so there's a lot of guns in there. But when you first start off, there's going to be very few guns, and you're not going to be able to change them out very easily, okay? But here's one way where you can look and see how many guns of whatever type you have, okay? So go back to the ship again. Congress. Well, I want to I want a better gun here. I'd like 24-pound Armstrongs if possible, just like everybody else here, you know. But we have to understand that it's going to affect our speed because they're going to be a lot heavier. So, you know, how do we do this? Okay, and plus, we don't have the kind of crew that I really want, which is somewhere in the middle there, you know. So, let me see. Let me put them at 18. There you go, 18. Okay. So another thing with this setup here is that do not do one thing at a time if you want to do other things with the same ship. Okay, so I don't go upgrade right now. Okay, because I want to change a gun. I want to change these guns. So here we go. Let's take a look here. So we click on, you click, left click on that deck of guns, and then it gives you a list of guns that you can put on there. All right. So these are 4-pound Bloomberg guns, and you see if I put 4-pounders there, okay, the weight drops really low because these things aren't worth any. You know, they don't shoot nothing. You know, they're not very good. So I'm gonna cancel that. I don't want to put. I want something heavier than an 18-pounder. Okay. So we're gonna have to scroll all the way down. And there we go, 24-pound Armstrong guns. Okay, now, I have none in my armory. I have 43 in the shop, okay? And I need 24 if I want to swap these guys out. So if I had only 20 in the shop and I tried to switch them out, it won't switch out. You've got to have the minimum amount of guns for that deck, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna swap out these 18 pounders for my 24 pounders, and let's see what happens. Okay, so I go to 24 pounders. Okay, and notice now I'm totally overweight. Okay, so I've got the 24 pounders in there. Okay, although it won't let me upgrade because I'm overweight. I've got the crew that I want. So what do I do next? Well, I could actually lower my crew. Okay. I'm at 663. I could lower my crew until we reach 1800. Okay. And so now I've got the 24-pound Armstrongs, and I've got 567 crew, and my ship is balanced out. The problem is that I want more crew. What was it? It was like 633. That's what I want. But I'm overloaded, and that's where the modules come in. Okay, the upgrades. Okay. So notice here, this is a structural repair kit. Very handy. And against the AI, it works quite well. Although a lot of times in this campaign, they will shoot your sails out, in which you need the sail repair kit. And then here is advanced cutting sails, which gives me that speed boost I was talking to you about. So you notice I'm at 10.4, and these guys, remember, are 11. Okay, so I'm starting to get pretty low here. So there you have another option here, okay, and that is to lighten your ship, okay, with a upgrade. So let's see here. What can we use here? Well, we could use hammocks. That increases your capacity by 7.5%. Notice the little box there. But your armor goes down 20, so I don't want to do that. And you have lightweight hull. Again, looking in the little box there, you can see armor goes down 10%. Armor thickness, armor HP goes down 10%. Armor thickness goes down 10, and capacity goes up by 10. What would happen if I put that in there? You see? I see? It works. But look at that, right there. I don't want that. So I'm going to cancel that. Okay. I don't want that. Okay, so is there another option? Yes, and that is, there is this part on the research tree concerning gun carriages, okay? And this is the second, there's three parts to the research tree. This is the second one. It's called unified gun carriages. Cannon's weight minus 15%. Well, cannon's weight minus 15%. I've got 24, 48, 68 guns. So minus 15%. That's going to take off a lot of weight. All right. Let's take a look at, now here's the first level. Okay. And this one only reduces your cannon weight by 10%. Okay. Well, let's try this one first. So I just click on it, and look at that. Okay, look at that. All right. What a difference that made. Okay. And she goes 11 knots if I want. 11 knots. But what happened here? No, I want, let me see, wasn't it 24 pound? 24 pounders? 24 pounders, right? Yeah, so I want 24 pounders. But you see there, with just this one, the first level, I can put those 24 pounders in there instead of the 18 pounders, and with this lightweight gun carriages, 10%, drop my weight down so that I can actually increase my crew over here, right? Okay. So there we go. And so now my crew is 660. My weight is even. I've upgraded my guns from 18 pounders to 24 pounders. And my speed is at 10.4, which is good. Okay. It's not noticeably, it's not hugely different than the rest of my ship of the lines. Okay, so what you see here is that I was able to change the guns, change the amount of crew, and then add a module, and I've spent no money. Okay? All of this stuff is in play for you to determine if that's the way you want to configure your ship. Okay? So when you decide that, hey, my ships are getting better, they need better guns, I capture a ship, I want to put carronades on the top deck or what have you. Okay? Remember that when you make any kind of a change, especially in the cannons, okay, it's going to affect a number of things. It's going to affect how many crew you're going to have on board. It's going to affect the speed, especially if you go heavier, right? And but you can use upgrades to help you to keep your weight under control so that your speed and so forth and your amount of crew that you have all work together and comes out to be what you want it to be. So I'm now happy with that. And so I upgrade that and I upgrade that. And now there she is, the Congress. Max weight, plenty of sailors, new guns. Okay, she's ready for battle. So that's what I wanted to show you. Um, interfaces sometimes are a bit confusing, and understanding how this interface works, the relationships, um, and the fact that you can actually change all of these variables all at the same time are is important to know, and how to change your guns. It's just a simple click. Find the gun you want. Make sure you have enough of them, because they won't go in there if you don't have enough. And then replace them. Yeah. So, he has 18 pounders. But he's got 24 pounders. And now this guy's got 24 pounders. This guy's got 24 pounders, 10.4. He's got 18 pounders, 10.4. Okay. He's got 703 crew. This one has 660 crew. This is good. This is enough for me. I don't necessarily want them at max. See, this guy here, I want them somewhere in the middle between optimum and max. Okay. So like I said, he's looking good with his 24-pound Armstrongs. This guy, too much crew. I could probably do the same thing with him and turn this guy into the same configuration as this guy, given that I have enough Armstrong, 24-pound Armstrong guns, right? So, then you have to, there you go, 24-pound Armstrong guns. But you see, I only have 19 of them. So I won't be able to upgrade any more of my ships, at least for a while, until those guns are replenished. And that's the best I'll be able to do for this harbor and getting my ships refitted for battle. Hope you enjoyed that, found it interesting, and fair wind and following seas.